Picture this. You are deadlocked in a massive argument. Maybe it's with your friend, your partner, or even your boss. Your heart is racing, you're throwing out facts, laying down the law, totally convinced you are about to crush them. But then, right in the middle of your epic monologue, a tiny thought creeps into the back of your brain. Oh wait, I am totally wrong. You just realized you mixed up the dates, got the facts twisted, or straight up misunderstood the entire situation. Panic mode, right? Do you just hit the brakes, look them in the eye, and say, "My bad, I messed up"? Come on, nobody wants to do that. Backing down is rough. It stings the ego. So what do? You pivot. You double down. You win anyway. Today, we're talking about exactly how to pull that off. We're diving deep into the psychology of arguments. We're talking about human behavior, power dynamics, and a little bit of conversational wizardry. Now, keep in mind, I'm not telling you to be a toxic person, but understanding these psychological tricks is wild. It's a massive level up for your communication skills. Even if you just use this to defend yourself against other people trying to play mind games with you, it is pure gold. So, you're in the middle of the fight, and you realize you have zero solid ground to stand on. The very first thing you have to do is check your vibe. You need absolute emotional control. Whoever gets loud first loses. That's straight up a rule of human nature. When someone starts raising their voice, getting flushed, or talking super fast, they look unstable. They look like they're losing control. If you realize you're wrong, your natural instinct is going to be defense mode. You'll want to talk louder to cover up your mistake. Do not do it. Do the exact opposite. Drop your volume. Speak a little slower. Keep your body language totally relaxed. Lean back a little bit. By staying incredibly calm, you instantly project confidence. You look like the person who holds all the cards. The other person is going to be so confused by your chill energy, they'll start second-guessing their own facts just because you look so unbothered. It's a crazy psychological trick. It's all about the optics. Next up, we have to use a move called the pivot. If the facts are not on your side, you have to change what the argument is actually about. You shift the frame. Let's say you're arguing about a movie. You confidently stated that a certain actor was in it. They pull up their phone, hit you with the internet page, and boom, you're completely wrong. If you stay on the topic of the actor, you lose. So you pivot to a broader concept. You look at them totally unfazed and say, "Exactly, that's my whole point." The casting in that era was so interchangeable that it completely ruined the artistic vision of the director. Do you see what just happened? You just abandoned the sinking ship of the original argument and jumped onto a brand new boat. And you act like that was your destination the whole time. You shifted from an objective fact, where you were clearly wrong, to a subjective opinion, where nobody can technically be wrong. It's a low-key brilliant move. You make it sound like they just missed the deeper meaning of what you were trying to say. Now, if they try to pull you back to the original point, it's time to deploy the Socratic method. This is ancient philosophy, but it works like absolute magic today. Instead of making statements, you start asking questions. Make them do all the heavy lifting. When they say, "Wait, you just said the wrong actor," you respond with, "What makes you so fixated on that specific detail?" Or you hit them with, "Why do you think you're missing the bigger picture here?" You just turned their attack into a defense. Suddenly, they have to explain their own thought process. People absolutely hate being psychoanalyzed in the middle of a fight. It throws them off balance. They start tripping over their own words. You're just standing there, looking calm, asking deep questions like you're their therapist. It completely changes the power dynamic of the entire room. Let's add another tool to your toolkit. It's called agree and amplify. This works wonders when someone is trying to corner you. Instead of fighting their point, you agree with it, but then you push it to such a ridiculous extreme that their original point sounds crazy. Let's say your coworker says, "Your marketing idea is way too risky." Instead of defending the risk, you lean into it. You say, "You're right, it is extremely risky. In fact, if we do this, the entire company might implode tomorrow and we'll all be living in the woods."
Obviously, that's not going to happen. By making a joke out of it, you drain all the tension from the room. You make their worry look like a huge overreaction. You take away their ammunition by stealing their point and making it sound absurd. It's a massive flex of your social skills. Another savage technique is to focus on the semantics. This is when you pick apart the exact words they're using instead of the idea they're trying to communicate. If they say, "You always forget to lock the front door," you latch on to the word always. You look at them with a slight smirk and say, "Always? You truly believe I never, not even once in my entire life, locked that door? That's a fascinating exaggeration." Now the argument is no longer about you forgetting to lock the door. The argument is about their use of hyperbole. You just put them on trial for their vocabulary. They'll get so frustrated trying to defend their word choice that they'll completely lose steam on the actual issue. It's a total distraction play, and it works flawlessly almost every single time. But let's take a step back for a second and look at the real psychology here. Why do we fight so hard to win, even when we know we're wrong? It's all tied up in our ego and our deeply rooted need for validation. We tie our self-worth to being right. When we're proven wrong, our brain literally registers it as a physical threat. That's why your heart pounds and your palms get sweaty. Your brain is telling you to fight for your survival. Understanding this is a massive key to your own self-growth. When you can spot that panic response happening inside your own body, you can start to hack it. You can realize that losing an argument doesn't actually mean you're a lesser person.
In fact, the ultimate power move, the absolute biggest flex in the world, is sometimes just owning it. I know the title of this video is How to Win When You Are Wrong, and those tricks I just gave you will absolutely get you out of a tight spot. But real talk, the most confident thing a human being can do is look someone dead in the eye and say, "You know what? I was wrong about that. You were totally right." When you do that, you instantly disarm the other person. They are completely robbed of their victory march. They were fully geared up for a massive battle, and you just calmly handed them the sword. It shows that your ego is completely in check. It shows you value the truth more than your own pride. And honestly, people respect the absolute heck out of that. It builds massive trust. So, you have a choice. You can use the pivot, the calm down, the Socratic questions, the agree and amplify method, and the semantic breakdowns to outmaneuver anybody in the room. You can absolutely Jedi mind trick your way out of taking an L. And sometimes you might really need to use those tools just to survive a wild situation. But true personal growth means knowing you have those weapons in your back pocket and choosing not to pull them out every single time. It is about understanding human behavior so well that you do not need to play the games anymore. You can just be real, learn from the moment, and keep evolving. That is the real victory. All right, that is a wrap for today. If you got some value out of this, if it made you think differently about how you communicate and handle conflict, you already know what to do. Smash that like button. It helps the channel out a ton. Hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you never miss out on the new drops. Also, jump into the comments right now and tell me about a time you totally won an argument even though you were dead wrong. No cap, I really want to read those stories. Catch you all in the next one. Stay sharp.